Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. Thought I'd better make another video on using metals, precious metals for in transactions. I just got done weed eating. I'm done for the day. And but anyway, I was checking emails, and somebody was talking about precious metals, and thought I'd better make another video about it. And what it is, I say, in the United States, it's really hard for me to get things done. Everything I do is at a personal one-on-one level. I mean, it's hard to do business with companies, big companies, because they have robots working for them. They have rules, and they've got policy. And I'm an exception, and everybody that I do business with is an exception. That's why it's hard for me to do things in the United States. I mean, I can't even get a hotel room. You're so limited on anything you do because it's digital. They want digital money, and they put a price on everything. So that's how digital money works. And they and it's all working on, and then that's the digital money is based on the paper money, and paper money is under the influence of many many things, and it's out of our control. And so when you decide to enter the game of digits or paper money, whatever country you're in, government money. See, the government is the ones that come up with the idea about money, and the reason is so it's easier for them to tax you. It's easier for them to control their population. And that's why I don't use money. So, but anyway, I tell what you need to do, and that's what I tell everybody, and everybody that I cross paths with. I'm giving them some type of metal. It just depends on what it is that I'm working with. I'll do it for tips when I leave a tip, and it's the same thing. Leaving a tip, it's much better when you give it to the person because it's a one-on-one kind of thing. And I know it's on waitresses, it screws up the system because their restaurant business isn't what it was when I was in the restaurant business. When I was in, I didn't care what your tips were. That's your business, and I want you to do good. I help my serving staff to get better tips. And but now they figure the tips. They add the tips in for part of your wages, and that's not what it is. so then I screw up the system when I'm giving them metals, because I give them the metals, and then, well, what's that, and then how do they figure that? They don't know how to figure that in their figuring your wages. And like I say, I've tried to even get hotel rooms. I let them, you want my credit card, you can put my credit card, but I'd rather pay you in cash. They don't even want that. So it's really difficult. And that's why a lot of times if at all possible, I try to do business with small business, with the owner of the small business. Now, if I use, you can get metals where you don't have a lot of money invested in it, and then you got other metals where you got more invested in it, you've seen the copper coins that I use. Okay, now I'll have a few $100s invested in copper coins when I'm giving them out, and then I've got some gold stuff that I give out, and it's different, and everybody really loves them. But these are things that you don't have a whole lot of money invested in it, but you have to learn to how to give it out, and how to get people to know that there is another world besides digits. And when you work for digits and dollars and stuff like that, you're really limited, and there's only so much. It's hard. It's hard to be prosperous and fruitful, because, like I say, the system is set up so never going to get. You're never going to get ahead when you use those. But when you use metals, you can. And when you learn how to use them, that's even better. So, like I say, I try to do business with small business. Now, I didn't have enough gold and silver with me when I went to Omaha this last time. That's because I'm moving some of my gold and silver around. So, and I dropped a lot of it off somewhere else, so I didn't really take it with me. And then when my car broke down in Omaha, I had to use money. And, and like I told the guy, I did have some of the stuff where I didn't have that much invested in it, but under normal conditions, like I told him, it was $400 to fix the car, and he had $220 in parts, so it was almost $200 in labor to fix it. If I had the gold and silver with me, I would have paid cash for his parts, because I mean, he had to pay cash for it. So then you need to, you can't use metals when other people are using dollars. So I got to cover the dollars, and then I would give him gold and silver. And he said he would have taken it, and that's right. The thing is, now people that need money, you pretty much have to use money, because that's all they know. They got themselves in debt. They just, that's how they function. But a lot of times when you're dealing with successful people, they already have money. Money is not that big of a thing. You will learn that. I always wondered. Like I say, I started using metals after I got out of the oil business. When I was 35, I got out of the oil business. And after that's when I realized how we're under complete control of our money. Somebody's got control of our money. And then after that, I started going to gold and silver. And I've realized since then that I need to do business with successful people, and successful people on a one-on-one basis. And like I say, when I travel here in the United States, no, but outside the United States, I use a lot of gold, silver, and copper, and I've even start using jewelry of some type, and because I can get more things done. I'll put it that way. And what you do, you figure, using the car mechanic as an example, it was like, let's just say 200. Half of it was parts, half of it was labor. Okay, that 200 in labor, I could have given him 200 in gold and silver, and he would have been happy. And why? Because he's not in debt, or he's got plenty of business, and he can make money someplace else. Money is not a big thing. Where money is a big thing for people is the people that don't have money. So you want to deal with people that are successful, and you would do it, like I say, like that was 200 in labor. I'd give them about 100, about half would be in gold and silver. And the reason is it's a commodity, it is something of value, and you don't pay taxes on it. You don't even have to tell your wife. You know, I mean, there's a lot of good things about gold and silver, and but you need to start with finding stuff that's in gold and silver. Like I say, jewelry. What kind of jewelry do you give away? My thing is, if you've ever crossed paths with me, you'll realize it. My thing is pandas, and I like pandas, and so I get pandas in copper. I get pandas in gold. I get pandas in silver. I get pandas in jewelry, and so I use a lot of it, and like I say, I've learned how to give it away, and when it works and when it doesn't. This is and the only way you're going to learn this is by doing it. In the old days, you could be with your dad as he's doing business, and you can see how it's done, and he'll tell you how it's done. Nowadays, people don't even know how to do it. But I say outside the country, it is still used, and the same, like I say, not with the poor people, but with successful people, and but that's the same thing here in the United States, the successful people. But it's hard to here in the United States. It's hard to get face to face, and that's the only time it works is when you're dealing face to face. Oh, I guess I did use it when I bought my school bus. I got my school bus, and I needed some service done on it, and I did work with the guy that owned the company. I don't even remember. Oh, I asked if the owner was there, and they said yeah, and so I went in with the owner, and it only works when it's face to face. When there's other people around in the office, it won't work. You have to be alone with these people. And with him, I told him I'm traveling through. I got my bus. It needs to be completely serviced from one end to the other. I wanted to see exactly everything how it works, and they need to kind of show me the stuff that I need to know. And they told me before I got to the boss that they're really booked up. They don't, you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to. I mean, started getting complicated. And so when I got to the boss, I did work out what it was, and we didn't have the cost. We didn't know what it was going to be. So I do differently. Now that would be more of a bribe there. Most of the time, when I'm dealing with people, most of the time I give them the gold and silver afterwards. But sometimes when I'm working deals like this, we didn't, at that particular time, we didn't know what the cost was going to be. And then he did have somebody come in, and they gave us kind of a ballpark estimate. And then I said, okay, I don't want to spend any more than that. And then, but I really do need to get this stuff done. And then I gave him the stuff that I was going to give him. Not enough to pay for it. I didn't get enough to pay for it because I didn't know. And I knew he had the business, and they needed this much money. And I was willing to spend that much money, but I didn't want to spend any more. And I wanted everything done. So if they found something, get it fixed. But I'm not going to pay any more than what the estimate was going to be. And so, and then like I say, you go to a mechanic, you don't go into the shop While I was in the shop, I was on a creeper sliding underneath the bus as they were explaining things to me and showing me things, how it works and this type of stuff. And I say, as we started working, and instead of waiting, he told him, bring the bus in now and start getting it going. And then the guy was working on it. And then a few minutes later, the head mechanic, he come in there. So we had two mechanics working on it. And then I went with the head mechanic, and he went around and showed me stuff while they were working on it. The other mechanics were working on it. They dropped all their other work and did the work on the bus. So, in other words, it makes a difference when you deal with the owner themselves, and it makes a big difference when you start using the metals. But you need to get them and start learning, and the best way to learn is start using them for tips. And like I say, tip the person that you're going to be using it for, and then after a while you start learning how to do. It's not really a tip, it's not really a bribe, but you'll learn how to do it ahead of time. And every situation is different on how you're going to do it. That's why you need to practice it. But anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.